Hey everybody, I'm back. I told you I'd probably do a little bit of a review of the ViewHD Audio Extractor. Now I will say this for anybody that will get this, kind of like with the HDMI to AV device or accessory that Electric City put out, as well as ViewHD has also put out the same kind of stuff. There is going to be a little switch. It's going to like be an on and off switch, kind of like back and forth. And there's three switches to it. There's three words that are under it. One is pass, so I think that is to pass through. I'm not really sure. I have to look into it. One is called pass. So I'm looking into it now. Okay, it says about pass. This is what it says about pass. It says EDID or ID pass-through mode. The HDMI sync device connected to the HDMI output will request the HDMI source unit to send audio to a format that can be best utilize the audio capability of the HDMI sync device. Use this setting to get the best audio from HDMI output. HDMI bandwidth can support all known audio formats up to PCM 7.1 channel, including Dolby Digital True HD and DHTS HD Master Audio. For example, a 2-channel stereo HD TV is connected to the HDMI output. The TV's audio ED 2-channel will be presented to the HDMI source unit. When a PCM 7.1 channel receiver is connected to the HDMI output, the highest audio EDD of the receiver, PC 7.1, will be presented to the HDMI source unit. So basically, let's say you have let's say your source for audio is your television, then all you're going to get out of it is is a 2-channel deal. But here's the advantage about that. Even though you wish, okay, I want more sound, here's the advantage. You still have 5.1 surround. And even though there are some channels on there that pretty much indicate on the cable, hey, we're 5.1 surround sound, they're not going to give it to you because your TV primarily is going to be a 2-channel deal. That's it. It's a 2-channel deal. And I know that might disappoint some people, but that's a fact. You might say to yourself, well, wait a minute, my TV does 5.1. That might be true, but those are the more expensive TVs. You see, it all depends on the kind of television you have. If you have a television that says, hey, I can put out sound up to 5.1, then great, you'll be able to use that and it will be no problem. You'll be able to use that and it'll be no problem. But what I'm saying is that if you have something like I do, which is a smart TV, but does not allow you to extract the audio of the smart stuff. That's the only disadvantage. If you have a smart TV, you're not going to be able to get the smart stuff like YouTube, iHeartRadio, Netflix, and all that. You're not going to be able to get that stuff unless you tune into the device that you already have it on as well, like either Xbox One, 360, PS3, PS4. Those are the only ways you're going to be able to abstract the audio from the device. That's the only way. That's the only way you're going to be able to abstract that audio. Now, if you have a PS4, that audio for them, not just in 2-point channel, but in 5.1. Here's the big difference. This may have been priced a little too high. I got this for around, I would say, $30-something. I would suggest maybe they should have dropped it to maybe 20 something, maybe 19 at the 15 at the most, or 15 at the less. 20 at the most, 15 at the less. But for what it does, it actually works very well because depending on what you have, it will work. When you use your PS4 or your Blu-ray, which are primarily 5.1 devices, if not opticated up to 7.1, then it's going to work. Because I just tried my PS4 on it, and the PS4 passed not just through the 2 channel, but through the 5.1 channel. So it's optical there. So it works there, I should say. I'm sure it's going to do the same with the Blu-ray, but even if that's not the case, here's the advantage. Even if, let's say, you have a Blu-ray player or a DVD player or a game console that will not do it, but yet you have other devices that will, here's the advantage. Let's say you have a system that will be able to support the two, will be able to pass through the 2 channel and the 5.1. If you have several that won't, the advantage is this. If you have a home theater system that has 5.1 surround, then you don't have to worry about that. Because if your remote has the options of source and speaker channels on it, then you don't have to worry. The speaker channels are basically the choice between 2-channel stereo and 5.1 surround. I was just watching ESPN First Take, and honestly, it was on 2-channel, but the advantage is I had my home theater system on 5.1 surround. I had my home theater system on 5.1 surround sound. Yeah, I had my theater system on 5.1 surround sound. And what that means, honestly, what that means is I was able to listen to any kind of background music they would use for highlights in the background. In other words, the speakers could be right here, the TV's like right where the camera is, maybe a little closer. I was able to hear the stuff. I was able to hear it. So that worked. So even if, let's say, your TV will only support the 2-channel stereo, if you have the 5.1 surround sound option on your home theater, you have nothing to worry about. But if you have both options, but if you do have a TV or a device that does do 5.1 surround as well, then you'll get more, then basically you'll get just about the same amount of sound, if not more so than you expect. Now the only disadvantage you would have to do is either balance out the sound between your TV and your home theater system, or shut the audio on your TV off and allow the speakers to go through that. I think that's what I may have to do just to get the smart TV portion to work. Maybe. I'm not saying that's a fact. I'm not saying that's a fact, but it's possibly that's what I'm going to have to do. And the reason I say that is because of the fact that the way I have it hooked up is I have one of those HDMI switchers. So the output portion of that HDMI switcher is connected to the input of the ViewHD HDMI extractor. So, and the output of that is connected to the TV. TV. So we may have to work on something there, because the TV does give, TVs like this do give you the option of either using the internal device or using the speakers. It all depends. It all really depends. So again, it all really depends on exactly the kind of device or the kind of way you're going to do it. Now I'm just going to probably mess around a little bit with it, see exactly what it does, because if I can choose to go with the home theater, then maybe I'll be able to get the smart TV audio on there. That's the only disadvantage, is the smart TV audio will not work. Now, I'm not saying that there's a reason for that or not. I'm just assuming that maybe it's because it's smart, it's streaming, that's the reason, but that still shouldn't be the reason. I'm just thinking off the top of my head that I may have to look into that and see exactly what I'll have to do. But it is definitely worth getting. You know, something like this is worth getting. Whether you get it online like I did off Amazon, or you get it at Best Buy or wherever, it's worth getting because it will allow you, if you have a TV like this, it will allow you to possibly save from having to get something like this, which I'm not saying getting something like this, I don't think you can see it, is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But what I'm saying is that what I'm saying is, like I said, getting something like that's not a bad thing, but still what I'm saying, it will save you maybe the pain of having to spend a lot of money. Now if you don't trust something like this, then yeah, getting something like that might be the best option as well. So, but basically my overall view on this review is it's a good item. You just got to mess with it a little bit, kind of figure out exactly what will pass through for primarily 2-channel stereo and 5.1 surround, if not both. You got to mess with it a little bit, and you know, just go from there and see what happens. Again, if everything you have primarily will only do 2-channel, then don't worry, because if you have the 5.1 surround sound option, on your home theater system, you have nothing to worry about because that will work as well. So, but I do recommend getting it. It's definitely worth the affordable price that you'll get it. Now, like I said, the only detraction I will say is I think the price, depending on where you get it from, should be at a decent price. I mean, $37 isn't too bad, but I would suggest more along the lines of maybe 25 at the most, 15 at the less, because you know, if you're not able to get the 5.1 surround sound feel through, you know, to pass through for your cable television as well as, let's say, your smart TVs, unless you have to configure the TV itself, then you know, I think it's only worth a certain amount. So, but again, I do recommend getting it. It is worth it. It's worth getting, and actually it will allow you to enjoy your programs a lot better. And again, it will save you money for having to go out and get another home theater system. Not saying you don't have to, especially if you want to go with wireless stuff like a wireless subwoofer or something like Bose or something like that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. If you want to do that, that's your choice. But if you can't afford it at the moment, best option is to go with something like this. Because I guarantee you go with something like this, it's going to save you a lot of pain. It will save you some money, a lot of money, and even though, like I said, it may not give you, even though maybe one or two of the options, a 5.1 or 2-channel may not pass through, at least you'll have the benefit. Let's say if it's just 2-channel, if you have the 5.1 surround option on your home theater system, you'll be pretty much all right anyway. So that's all I'm going to say. I do recommend getting it, but I do suggest trying to find it at a cheaper price. So that's all I'm going to say, but that's just my overview on the ViewHD HDMI Audio Extractor. I do recommend, like I said, I do recommend getting it, and that's all really I'm going to say. And I'll talk to y'all later. Comment down below. Let me know if you guys have dealt with something like this. And peace out. God bless. I got to get ready for work.